Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Max Clay Creations, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to make 3 different clay ideas, which will be a trinket dish, clay magnets and a photo holder. I will now be showing you the equipment you need. The first thing you need is your clay. We have polymer clay, which will be used on the clay magnets. I decided to pick this one for the clay magnets because it has a range of colours I can pick from and choose. Sculpey clay, which will be used on the photo holder. I haven't used this clay before, so I'll be experimenting with it in today's video. And air dry clay, which will be used on making the trinket dish. The last equipment you need are your clay tools. You can get metal tools, plastic tools and wood tools. The clay tools help with cutting, sculpting, carving, smoothing and adding any details to your clay. It's up to you which ones you would prefer to use. You can also put sandpaper on your table like I have to help the clay to not stick, which I recommend doing. Now that I've told you the equipment you need, we can now get started on making the clay ideas. We are going to start with making the clay magnets. So I'm going to be using polymer clay, but you don't have to, you can use any other clay you want, but I just prefer using this clay. The first thing I made was Snoopy, which is an oval shape, but you just bend the top of it to make the nose. You then need to make another oval shape and pinch the top of it to make the ear and place it on to the head. It should just stick on and stay. The nose is quite easy to make. All you need to do is make a small ball and then stick it to the end of the head. Now for the eye, you just need to make a small circle and then place it onto the head. Be careful though, because this clay is very sticky, as you can see, and dust will collect on it. Now I will be making Garfield, so the first thing you need to do is cut your clay and then make a circle shape for the head. For the eyes, make 2 oval shapes and then place them next to each other on the face. For the nose, make a tunnel shape which will be placed between the eyes. And then create a small circle to place on top of that. For the eyes, all I did was make a flat circle with the black clay and then wrapped around it the orange clay. All I did here was add some white clay to the eyes. And now I am adding his whiskers, which you have to make 3 for each side. Once that is done, you now make 2 triangles for his ears, and then I placed black clay on top of that. As you can see here, I cut the ears because they were too long, but it also made it easier for them to stick onto the face. And here you have your Garfield. If you're following along with this tutorial, make sure to comment down below how your clay magnets have turned out. Now I'm making soot sprites. All you have to do is make a flat circle for the face, then make 2 oval shapes for the eyes. Make sure when you place them on the face there's some distance between them. Now make small little dots for the irises. Now I made a small star that the soot sprites will be holding. I placed it just below the eye, but you can place it anywhere else on the face. And there you have one of your soot sprites. I then made another soot sprite, but this time this one will be holding a yellow star. I'll now be making Jake from Adventure Time. You start off with making an oval for his face, and then attach 2 ears on either side of his head. Like the same as Garfield, I just made flat circles and then wrapped around the black for his eyes, and then make a tunnel shape for his nose, and then I cut his ears to make them shorter. The first thing I made was Miffy, which I did forget to record, but as you can see it's quite easy to make, so if you want to pause and try and make it yourself, you can. And that's your clay magnets finished. If you followed along with this tutorial, please comment down which ones you decided to make. Because this is polymer clay, we now put them in the oven. If you have an air fryer, make sure to put it on bake instead of air fry, because I made this mistake of putting it on air fry and they turned out looking like this, and I accidentally burnt them. So make sure you put them on the right temperature, so then they don't turn out like this. Now I'm making a trinket dish, which is going to be Squidward from SpongeBob. You start off with rolling out the clay. Once you've rolled your clay, I like to start with making an outline of the shape I'm going to be making. Once you've done the outline of your shape, you can now cut it out. After cutting it out, I then did an outline of where the eyes will be placed. I'm now rolling out the clay and making the shape for the nose. I then place it on top of the trinket dish base and then smooth the sides so then it's attached to the base. I then like to add water to the sides so then it smooths it all out. I then roll out some more clay and then place it on both sides of the nose and then smooth it onto the base and the nose so then it's more attached. I then roll out some more clay and that will then be placed onto the trinket dish base as the border. Like the same thing I did with the nose, I rolled out some more clay and placed it inside of the trinket dish and then smoothed it onto the border and to the base so then it's more attached. Make sure to go in with some water to then smooth it all over. And then just repeat this all the way around the trinket dish. Make sure you're also getting water to then smooth the top of the border. Now I'm going on to doing the eyes, which are just oval shapes. I carved out where the outline was for the eyes, so then it's easier to place the oval shape of the eye on top of it. I then cut out the top of the eyelid and the bottom of the eyelid and placed it on top of the eyeball. I then used the clay tool and some water to smooth it out, and I repeated this on the other side. And there you have your Squidward trinket dish, which can also hold glasses. Because this is air dry clay, you have to let this dry for 48 hours before painting on. Now we are moving on to the Garfield photo holder. You start off with making a circle for his head, but make sure to add a dip at the bottom for his cheeks. When you make his ears, make sure to add a little dip in between them, so then it makes the inside of his ear. You then attach them on top of his head and then smooth it out with your clay tool. Now for his eyes, just roll out some clay and then attach it to the head. Now for his eyelids, make sure to roll out the clay so then it's all flat, and then place it on top of the eye. Then you need to smooth it all out so then it doesn't fall off from the face. Then make a small circle for his nose and place it between the eyes. Before placing it on his face, roll out some clay and then put it underneath his eyes on both sides, and then place the nose on top of it. Now I'm making a tongue, which is an oval shape, but make sure to pinch the top of it so then it goes between his whiskers. All we have to do now is cut the top to make the hole for where you place your photos. Make sure it's long enough so then the photos can actually fit inside. And there you have your photo holder. With Sculpey clay, you put it in the oven for it to bake. Make sure to put it on the right temperature and don't leave it in for too long. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed, and please leave a comment if you decided to make one of these ideas. I have another video coming soon which will be of me painting the trinket dish and photo holder. If you like this video, check out my channel and other platforms. See you in the next video. Bye!